Hello everyone, this is Ashley Tucker. Thank you for joining me today. Before I get into the card for today, I wanted to mention that this video is for Colorado Craft Company's brand new release. They have 12 new stamp sets, and they have a couple of deals to offer you right now. For the next few days, they're offering free shipping on all domestic orders and $5 shipping on international orders. And they also have a bundle deal where if you buy any 3 sets from one of their lines, you'll get 10% off. And you don't need any code for these deals, and I'll have more details for them on the blog post. And on top of all of that, I also have a giveaway on my blog post, so make sure you head over there and check it out. All right, let's get into the card. So I took the I Got You Babe stamp set, and I took that image with the girl with all of the balloons, as well as the single balloon, put them in my Misti Tool, and stamped them with Gina K Designs Jet Black Amalgam ink onto some Bristol smooth paper. I'm going to be coloring this in with my Arteza Real Brush pens. It's been a little while since I pulled out these markers. I've been using my Copics quite a bit, but I've been in the mood to use these lately, so I pulled them out. This first color that I'm using is called Light Skin, and I'm just adding this on her arms and legs, and I like to add it to the areas that I want to be the darkest, and then I take my water brush, dip it in a tiny bit of water, and then I spread out that color to the rest of the area, and this gives me some nice variation between my lights and my darks. I know that I've mentioned this before in my Arteza videos, but in case you're new to my videos, I don't ever fill my water brush with water. I just prefer to use it as a regular brush. Now, the reason that I use it instead of a regular brush is just because I like the tip on it. This is the Fine Detailer water brush from Holtz, and I really like how small that tip is. It really helps me get into these really fine detailed areas. If I had a regular watercolor brush with a brush this size, I would probably use that, but right now my smallest watercolor brush is a size 2 round watercolor brush, and that's just a little bit bigger than I want for this kind of painting. I used a bunch of different reds and pinks for all of my balloons. Now, if you want to know the exact colors that I'm using in case you're trying to recreate this same image, I used the colors Bubble Bath Pink, Rouge Pink, Blush Red, Currant Red, and Red. The way that I like to color in my balloons, and this goes for when I'm coloring in balloons with Copics or with watercolors, I like to add my darkest color around the edge of the balloon and then work my way towards the center with lighter colors, and usually I'll leave the middle of the balloon almost completely white. This is really easy to do with watercolor markers because I just take my marker and I color around the edge of the balloon, and then I take my brush with water on it and I spread out that color towards the center of the balloon, and as I spread that color out, it's going to slowly lighten. Alright, so there's just a little bit of coloring left to do, but I'm just going to turn on some calm music for you to relax while you watch the rest of it, and then I'll catch back up with you after the coloring is done. Once the coloring was done, I ran this through my scan and cut in order to cut out both images. I then picked out this strip of hearts stamp from the Little Love stamp set, and I'm stamping that onto a piece of AUDREY blue cardstock from Simon Says Stamp, which I prepped with a powder bag for embossing. So I stamped it with Versamark ink, and I'm embossing it with a clear embossing powder. This is ICICLE embossing powder from Brutus, Monroe. That piece of AUDREY blue cardstock is cut to 3.5 by 8.5, and I'm going to pop it up with foam tape onto a card base, which I made out of Bristol smooth cardstock, just because I needed a larger piece of cardstock, and that card base is a 9 by 4 card base. I used just a dot of Gina K Designs Connect glue in order to adhere that single balloon so that it looks like it's flying away from that big bunch of balloons. And then I added foam tape to the back of the girl and the balloons, and I popped it up onto my card. For the sentiment, I grabbed one of the stamps from the I Got You Babe stamp set, and I stamped that with VersaFine ONYX black ink onto some Neenah Classic Crest Solar White cardstock, cut it down so that it has just a little white border around the edge, and I popped it up on the card. This next step really takes the balloons to the next level. I'm using a white gel pen to add a bunch of highlights around the edge of all the balloons. I think that when you're coloring balloons, you want them to have a decent amount of highlights because that's just how balloons are. I added a few highlights on the girl's skirt as well as on her shoes, and then I took that white gel pen and I added a dashed line around the edge of the AUDREY blue cardstock. I avoided that strip of hearts with these dashed lines because it's just not going to work out to try and use a white gel pen on top of embossing. Next, I added a few different sequins from the Girl's Best Friend sequin mix from Simon Says Stamp. I tried to place them in a way where they kind of look like they're following the trail that these balloons might make in the future if the girl were to let go of them. Following that same train of thought, I took out these sprinkle heart enamel stickers from Doodlebug, and I added a few of those, also kind of looking like they're following that trail. The last thing that I did to finish up this card is I took that white gel pen again and I added a bunch of dots all over the girl's skirt just to give this a little bit more detail. Thank you for watching today. I hope you really enjoyed today's card design. Don't forget to head over to my blog and check out the giveaway details. I'll have that linked down below in the description, as well as all of the products that I used for today's card. And remember that anytime you click on one of those links, you're helping to support my channel at no extra cost to you. If you enjoyed watching, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. I do new videos every single week, and I'm going to be back with another one really soon. Again, thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.